I am live. Very exciting. Control copy. Jolly Roger. Wednesday, April 15th. Return. Control V. Highlight. Link. Enter. Edit. Settings. Open a new window. Update. Update. Patiently wait. Because everybody is trying to get in. Chun chun chun. Don't gog it up. View page. And if you're logging in, let me know if the sound is good. Click to double check the link. That looks like what I'm working on. There's my live stream. Hi, Lynn. How are you? We are surviving another day of this. Let's see. Instead of doing that, I better do this. It's kind of away from that window a little bit. Whew. All right. Hey, Arlo. Hump day. Hey, Laurel. Michael Strahan does that on Good Morning America every day. I think that there's a story behind it that I don't know. Hey, Manette. Thanks for being here again today. Hey, Mike. Hi, Mike, and then Burke. We'll take Mike, and Burke. All right. How am I looking? I'm looking pretty. I guess I can do with it, huh? Let's see, Linda, logging in from downtown Pueblo. Glad you're here today. Hey, Christine. Well, again, as always, I tell you, lower your expectations. It's me teaching, so it could go either way. We could be going great, and then I get off the rail, and who knows what happens after that. Hey, Lindy. Yeah, we got another snow day coming tomorrow, huh? I'm going to move this light real quick. Hopefully that'll balance it a little bit. Yeah. The problem, I think, bottom line is that I have the wrong face. Let's see. Who else is sneaking in here? Thank goodness for these sessions. You guys have been so kind and so nice. I am really, really, really hoping that you're having getting something out of this, and it's kind of fun. And more than that, I mean, obviously it's a distraction from everything else going on, but hopefully you're having some playable stuff that can help you sort of. We're doing fine how we are living our lives now, but maybe just give you a little bit of new perspective on the way to play, or, maybe if you already know how to play, give you some ideas on how to share music, or, what you can be thinking about in terms of that. So hopefully all this is working out. Kestrel, hooray! Hi, Kestrel, how are you? So delighted you're here. Kestrel is one of my favorite people in the whole world. So glad you're here, Kestrel. Tanya, happy hump day to you. Mel, logging in again. Yeah, they're talking about things getting a little better. So I don't know, maybe things are leveling off a little bit out there, but it's not leveling off if you're sick. And so let's stay home, right? Chris, how are you? Welcome. Cindy Raymond, come on in. Cindy, how are you today? Let's see. Oh, well, good, Lindy. I'm glad that you're finding them helpful. There's a huge lag between me talking and you guys chatting, and there's always this weird thing like, I'm going to say something crazy, and then in a minute and a half they're going to be like, oh my god, what the heck is you doing? Violet Clouds is back in. How are you, man? Glad you're here from Chicago. Bon W. Yes, very helpful. Yay, good. That's very exciting. Lorene, welcome. Good to see you. Come on in. Jerry logging in. Renee, again, welcome, Renee. How are you doing? Leslie, come on in. Bruce logging in from Arizona. Yeah, if you're living someplace interesting, when you log in, let's say, hey, it's Bruce from Arizona, or wherever you're from. Everybody's Well, that's not true. Some of you are from crummy places, but pretend you're from the nearest cool place that you live by. Manette is actually from Glenwood Springs, and Carbondale, which is one of our really, really nice places here in Colorado to be from. So, I know a few of you are from cool places. North Carolina, kind of logging in, and San Diego and Texas, and I'm trying to remember where all Vancouver, both Vancouver, Washington, and Vancouver, British Columbia have been coming in. So, yeah. And Judy from Florida. Judy, did I know you were in Florida? I might have forgotten. Glad you're here today. Hey, friend. Jackie, back in for some more punishment from Centennial. I can see you from here, Mike. Um, let's see. Where else? Logging in from, oh yeah, and Bonnie is in Salida. So those of you guys that are, honestly, I lived in Colorado my whole life and never ever ever went to Salida. I think we might have drove through it a couple times when we were kids. I went up to the mountains all the time when I was a kid, and never went to Salida. And then last summer, or maybe the summer before, we finally got to spend a weekend up there. And it turns out the reason Coloradans don't go there is all the Texans are there. And so, but it was a really lovely little town, and we just had a great time up there. So, Susan logging in from Lakewood. Susan, I can see you from here. Let's see who else has been logging in. Yeah, Arlo, I tried it on Zoom. The Zoom is really popular right now, and I did do some testing with Zoom. I got the fleas together, and we did some Zoom testing, and it doesn't work. There's two problems with it. One, no matter what we do, there's a sound latency and an internet lag, and so it would be awesome if we could all play together. But it doesn't work. The videos that you're seeing flying around the internet, where they have 20 people and they're all playing and they're all in tune. Two things are happening there. Number one, they're using cell phone technology in addition to the Zoom technology to play together, and then there's a guy afterwards who's editing all of that and putting it where it's all happening simultaneously. There's just too much lag with internet connections and sound connections to do these large group meetings effectively. Not so much if you're just chatting with your people, but when you're playing music and everybody has to be dead on and exact on time, it just doesn't work. The other thing that happens, we get a fairly large group for this particular session, and it turns out everybody's got to turn off their microphones in order for it to work at all. And then a lot of times, depending on people's internet lag, they may have to even turn off their video. So I did test this with Zoom, and I thought, yep, that's going to be the answer. I tested it with Google Hangouts as well, and it just doesn't work. And so I thought, you know what, we'll go with this system where I play perfectly and you play perfectly, and we all know it, and we're all very happy with ourselves, and we walk out of here knowing that we're awesome. So yeah, I did try Zoom, but Zoom, it's a good system we've been doing it with some family meetings and, different stuff, and it works great for that. But for music, it just isn't good enough. And it can't be because there's an internet lag, right? Maybe when 5G comes around and we're all simultaneously connected instantaneously to each other, then maybe that'll work, but not quite there yet. Dwayne from Minnesota, welcome. Glad you're in. Boy, we got every corner of North America covered. That's exciting. Caitlin from Conifer, welcome. Glad you're here. Bonnie, pretty empty right now. Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, right. Nobody's traveling right now. It's pretty crazy. You can probably go dance in the main square today. Snowing in Bozeman. Yep, snow's headed this way, Vicky. So don't use it all up. We need some down here as well. Yeah. I don't. Renee says I don't mind doing it this way. It's that way we can't hear your mistakes. So we've talked about mistakes. This is a great opportunity to bring it up again. There's no such thing. Okay, this is art that lives in one dimension. It only exists in time. We don't exist in height, width, or length. So the only place that this activity exists is in time. And time, as you all know, because not all of you are spring chickens anymore, only goes in one direction, right? Time only moves in one direction. So whatever happens at this moment, that's what happened at that moment. And you can't go back and fix that moment. So just let that be what it is. There are no mistakes. Everything, I don't believe that everything happens for a reason. I don't. I've been around people who are like, yep, everything happens for, no, I don't believe that at all. But I do know that whatever happened, happened. And so I just don't like to dwell on mistakes. I don't believe in mistakes. I don't think that that's a thing. And however you play is how you play. And if you're playing well and you're playing beautifully, and then tones are coming out of your ukulele like you're a genius, then all the better. But if not, you're just not playing it that way right now. So yeah, so there are no mistakes. Don't let yourself think that that's a true thing. So let's see. Is this? Oh, Judy. There's two Judy. No wonder I'm getting everybody confused. Danny, you're late. Danny, you're always supposed to be the first one logged in. Barbara, welcome. Hey, let's play some ukulele. We got two really dynamite songs today. Home on the Range. Those of you guys who are from Kansas, I don't think we have anybody from Kansas, but pretend you are. This is the Kansas State song, and it is, to my mind, I teach introduction to ukulele classes all of the time. I'm looking around wondering what I do with my ukulele. Here it is. I teach introduction classes multiple times a year, but one in the springtime, in the summer, and then in the fall again. And I try to give people in that class, which a lot of you guys, basically the stuff that's on the page that you guys are taking as new member or newer player information. That's the stuff that I teach in those classes. And when I find a song that's working, I hang on to it. When I find a song that doesn't work, we get rid of it. And I have honestly, from day one, been teaching Home on the Range because the arrangement is fabulous. It's a really good song. Everything about this is just really fun and beautiful to play. And I think it'll bring out the very best in your ukulele and the best in you, and hopefully inspire you to do more. I'm thinking about, and guys, let me know if you're going to lose your minds, but I'm giving some thought to making next week Cowboy Week and doing a bunch of cowboy tunes. For some of you, that is a non-starter. You're like, nope, I have seen cowboys on TV and I don't want anything to do with it. Out here in Colorado, you're more or less expected to participate in cowboy things, whether you find any meaning for it or not. But the good thing I like about cowboy tunes is they're relatively basic in terms of their overall construction, but can be really beautiful if you put in the work and put in the time and really think it through. So give me some feedback over email if you're going to you are locked inside, and if I say, oh hey, we're going to play Ghost Riders in the Sky or El Paso or Desperado or Yellow Rose of Texas, or I don't know what all is in my computer, but all of those are in my computer, but I might find some other ones as well. Just let me know how you feel about putting on a cowboy hat and playing your ukulele. I think it could be fun. All right, and plus, you cannot ever make enough fun of cowboys. Cowboys play right along. You can't make enough fun of them because they get it. Let's see. Yay, Cowboys, Kestrel says. See, Kestrel's easy. Annie and Glenda, welcome. Come on in. Yeah, because I also have, I do want to do a Mozart piece. It's be a multi-day Mozart piece, and so I'm either going to do that next week or Cowboys next week. The Mozart one is probably a little harder, and it might be fun to have because we've been working really hard this week on jazz. I might work it where we do a little bit of something a little tiny easier next week, and then we'll dig into the Mozart. And you may say, no, please, dear God, don't give me any Mozart. So be communicative with me. Whatever you guys think, I'm game for. All right, Home on the Range. Let's run through. There's a lot of chords in it, unfortunately. For those of you that are newer, hey, Kat, let's talk about maybe sometime we can learn Colorado Christmas. Oh, I know, that's a beautiful song. Let's talk. Well, we'll do a Christmas thing. Let's find out how we're locked in the houses. I will. I'm kind of enjoying these little broadcasts, and maybe we'll keep them going. And for sure, we can do a Christmas one. I have. Um, you may have guessed this. I have a tiny bit of an ego when it comes to my sheet music. I write really nice sheet music, better than you can buy anywhere. And my Christmas ukulele book is dreamy. So I'm not a. Am I a huge Christmas? I'm a pretty big Christmas music fan. I used to be more of a Christmas music fan, but as a musician and especially as a writer, you start working on them in September. So about the time Christmas comes around, you're really over Christmas music. So um, but we will for sure do something like that. You guys are all on the email list probably. If you're not on the email list, jollyrogerukulele.com, get your name on that email list, and then I keep you informed. By the way, I keep asking in that email for you guys to click on some links so that I know you're a live human being reading those emails. If you don't do that, I will delete you off, because what happens is I send out emails to, I don't know how many hundreds, might be a couple thousand now. And a lot of those just end up in people's spam box, and they don't miss it because they're not participating. And so they just go into their spam box, spam. And I don't want to be that person, right? So I want to take those email addresses off and just not bother those people. And that way, if I put less in spam boxes, I put more into your real email boxes. So if you're finding all this interesting and you're enjoying it, click on links within that email. That just sends the server this email's a weird deal these days. You don't just send it out because people freak out. But the system can detect if you're clicking on links or not. And if you're clicking on links, then it shows that you're an active subscriber. And that's, I want to keep you guys on the list. And if you're not clicking on links, you'll eventually we just take you off. And so, okay, let's see. We're going to grab, I'm going to start on this song here in just a second, but first I'm going to find out what else is going on over here. Bach and Cowboys. Yeah, this is what the ukulele does. We can play all the music. We can play all. I don't think it does hip hop very well. So those of you who are rap music stars, we may have to talk. Maybe I just don't get it, but I haven't been able to get hip hop on here nearly as well as I would think. Happy trails to you. Heck yeah, I've got that one all done. Let's see. I watched the Rocky Mountain Ukulele on YouTube last night. I really enjoyed the performance, especially the mouse here. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we have one guy in the Rocky Mountain Ukulele Orchestra who does videotaping us. It's really hard to get us onto videotape. It's really, the sound does not sound right. I kind of just stay out of it a little bit because he's doing everything he can to capture us. We've never paid for top level video production type thing, but you can get a sense of what the orchestra does, and it might be fun for you to go check some of those out. We are trying to be all things ukulele, so whatever ukulele, whatever way can be played, that's how we want to play it. Try to push those guys to the highest levels. We got advanced groups in there, we got brand new beginners in there, we got fun songs, stupid songs I wrote, songs that other people wrote. We're just trying to be everything. We're just trying to see how far we can take this thing. And so I'm really proud of our Rocky Mountain Ukulele Orchestra, and a bunch of you guys know about it. A bunch of you guys are from the other parts of the country and don't know about it, but one of these days I want to get the ukulele continuum to recognize what we're doing here in Denver, and so sooner or later I might have to advertise. But when you go to Ukulele Magazine, they tell you about all this stuff going on all around, and I'm always surprised that it feels like a whole lot. Let's leave my judgment there. It feels awesome. Let's go on to Home on a Range. Let's do this is key of G week, guys. So we're doing lots of stuff with G chords just to get you over that. I'm playing a little Kamaka ukulele today that I bought years ago. Some guy brought it to me and says, "I don't want this anymore. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Sure." And it smelled like cigarettes. And so it finally doesn't smell like cigarettes anymore. It's a lovely little ukulele. Here's your G chord. Make sure as you let's see if I can get the lighting right here. Index finger up here, middle finger down here, ring finger out there. That's your G chord. Make sure your thumb is not jumping up here. That's going to be the death of me and you if it does. So just make sure your thumb stays down here out of the way. I don't even want to know you have a thumb. And notice my thumb is hanging out right behind wherever my middle finger is. That's where my thumb's going to be hanging out. And that's true for all things. So this is the only rule. I don't want to see your thumb. Make your thumb hang out behind your middle finger and everything's going to go great. After that, you got the D7. And this is why I want you to do the G this shape, so then you could just pop up and get that onto D7, right? So that's a nice, easy thing to do there. C chord, of course, measure 3 is going to be with your ring finger always. Let's see. Hey, Patty. Let's go to measure 6. You got an A7. That's your index finger right there. Okay. And let's see. Notice that you got 2 different types of 7th chords in here, the E7 and D7. Again, a little bit unusual, a little bit kind of creates some tension and drama in the song. Let's go all the way down to measure 21. I don't think I'm skipping anything. Measure 21, E minor. For those of you guys that are newer and you're having your fit on whatever chord you're having a fit on, please know this was my chord. Index, middle, ring. I spent 6 months working on that thing easy. Okay. It is a mean little chord in my mind. Most of my students are like, oh, that's easy, plunk, and then they're fine. I just could not, when I started playing, could not get this thing on to save my soul. And so, just know, one, it comes up every day, so you got to know it. The other thing, some of you guys may have noticed, when you're holding your G chord, you got like this. And for certain moments in certain songs, you could just put your pinky up there, and now it turns it into an E minor. So there's a little secret gift that I give to you. I always play index, middle, and ring, but some of you may find it more convenient just to add your pinky on to a G chord, and then you get an E minor. Again, that's a top secret thing. Don't share that with anybody. It's just ours. It's you and me. You and me. We're the only ones who get to do that. And that's it. That's the chords in the song. All right, let's go through. I'm going to sing it, and we're going to practice strumming it. And the only reason I do that is that I want, a lot of you guys come from a chord tradition. You know that you want to get better at doing your chords. And so we do it. If you will just think about if changing chords quickly is one of your challenges, abandon whatever chord you're on now in enough time to get to the next chord. So on that very first measure where you're going to have to go, give me a home. If that's not going to work for you, just go, give me a home. So leave the G chord after just one strum and get on to D7 so you're there in enough time. Now, there's nothing much you can do between D7 and G. You only have one beat to get that on there. But a lot of times newer players, they hold on to that chord till the very last minute, and stop doing that. Just leave, get the chord and then move on to your next one. You're always reading at least one chord ahead to see what tragedies are about to befall you, and so you want to be looking always ahead at the next chord, the next chord, the next chord. We tend to fall asleep as chord players on we'll get it on. We're like, all right, cool, I got my G chord on. I'm going to play that for a while, and that's when we get in trouble, because pretty soon you're just, oh shoot, I'm supposed to be on another chord. By the time you get the next chord on, you're already on to the third chord, right? And so just give yourself some time when you're playing chords to if you can only get one in before you got to change to get to the next one, do that. It's perfectly fine. Chord players, we are also the drummer, so don't play along with the speed of the music. Don't do half notes and quarter notes and eighth notes and all that. You're doing beats. When you are playing chords, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's all you're going to do through this whole song. There are of course variations on that, but until you do that part well, there's no point in talking about the variations. And so you'll see me, I'm just thumb, 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 thumb. I think it sounds beautiful. Works in 99% of the songs. And I would just say, just listen to the beat, hear how that's going, and stick with that. Sing loud and proud. And if you hate singing, hum loud and proud, right? So that you can at least have some sense of where you are in the melody. And then next level players, of course, you are thinking about doing, instead of strumming, you are thinking about grabbing thumb, index, middle, and ring. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam. Right, that's how you're thinking, is just one per beat. I'd probably, you can try doing an arpeggio on here, but it's going to go by pretty fast. So you probably don't want to do that type of plucking. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But you might give it a try, see what happens. I would say this song is, it's a cowboy song. Keep it simple. All right. I can't sing. I'm going to sing. Okay. Oh, here we go. Ready? And oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play. 2, 3, 1, 2. Where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Home, home on the range. 2, 3, 1, 2. Where the deer and the antelope play. 2, 3, 1, 2. Where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play. 2, 3, 1, 2. Where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Home, 2, 3. Home on the range. 2, 3, 1, 2. Where the deer and the antelope play. 2, 3, 1, 2. Where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy. Second inning, day 2, 3. Okay. When you're practicing chords, when you're brand new, that's one of the things that you got to get good at. As an instrumentalist, we don't use chords nearly as heavy as singers do, but we do use them, and you do have to be able to switch between those chords, and those are very standard issue chords that you're getting in this song. And I would say that's definitely worth your time to spend a little bit of time doing that. One of the things, too, is on the website, over on the right-hand side, or it's down below if you're on a phone, but if you're on the right-hand side is the MP3s of all of the songs that we're studying in this whole thing. And so go listen to those for a few times to make sure you know how the song goes. But you can also just hit play and then strum along with it. That's going to it's going to be a metronome. That's what it is. It's a metronome, but it's a way easier to get along with metronome than a real metronome. Real metronomes are a bummer. Click, 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 click. I have one right here. I bought it when I was a piano student. That would have been a long time ago now, 25 years ago, and I used it twice. Okay, and ever since then, I've just been dusting it, and it keeps me company, and I feel like a musician by having it. But it's just they're really, really very unpleasant little activities to do. So play along with the MP3. Probably, and I don't know if this is 100% true, but I read an article years ago from Guitar Player magazine about the best guitar players, and almost to a person, they interviewed all these great guitar players. Almost all of the girls had taken guitar lessons, and almost all of the boys were self-taught. And the way boys self-teach themselves to play rock and roll guitar is they sit in the basement and they listen to albums and they try to play the same thing that's on the album. And so it turned those guys into, they went the hard route, right? That's just hours and hours of copying somebody else. and then they became great guitar players. Or the girls were smarter. I'm just going to go to a teacher and have them show me what I'm supposed to do. So that's the thing that you can use to get to be a great ukulele player, as well as, one, come talk to me and come talk to some people who know what they're doing, get the skill set in place, but then also play along to those MP3s. It's a great way to get your chords go up and running in great shape. All right, a lot of talking, not enough playing. Let's play Home on the Range. Let's do the ukulele melody line now. And again, at this point, if you're brand new walking in off the streets going, what the heck's going on? This might be a little bit more than you're ready to deal with. Go to the website, jollyrogerukulele.com. Go to Frere Jacques. That's the first one. I know you're like, oh God, I don't want to play that song. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That teaches you every single thing that we're about to do here. Had a few people sneak in here. And so let me say hi to Kathy and Christy, logging in from Utah. And let's see, Bob coming in. Bob's in Golden. Bob runs our Golden group. Bob's awesome. Barbara's in here. Mozart. Oh, yeah, we're still doing Mozart. Okay, so let's get it started. We're going to play just a tablature, one note at a time. We're not going to play it through twice. Okay, we don't need to. Just play the whole thing through we'll do top to bottom. So we'll probably do the second ending when we get to the bottom. Notice I always just now I'm like peeking through going, okay, do I have anything that's going to mess me up? And the one thing that's going to mess me up, measure 17, I get a 5 on there, but that's a 5 by itself. So I'm not going to slide up to get my 5th position 5. I'm just going to go ahead and have my pinky jump over there. I'll be fine. Okay, and you will too. If there's only one 5, just do that instead of sliding up to 5th position. Every other note in the song is right here, right? 2s and 3s. Lots of 2s and 3s. Use your ring, use your middle. That's what you want to do. Okay? From the top, ukulele melody line, I'm going to count in 2, and then we're going to go 1, 2. 2, 2, 3, oh, 2. 3, 2, oh, 3, 3, 3. 2, 3, 5. 3, 3, 3. 2, 3, 0. 2, 3. Count your long notes. 2, 2, 3, oh, 2. 3, 2, oh, 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 2, oh, 3, 2, 3, oh, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 5, 2, 3, 3, 2, oh, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 2, 3, oh, 2. 3, 2, oh, 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 2, oh, 3. Second ending. 2, 3, oh, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And notice I have not lifted up my ring finger. I'm just waiting for the ukulele to ring out. This is a pretty good ukulele, and so it'll last about 6 beats of making noise out of it. If you got a real inexpensive ukulele, you might get 2 or 3 beats. If you have a super expensive ukulele, you might get 8 beats, but that's about how much you're going to get. That's what you're paying for when you buy these more expensive ukulele is sustain, and you get it from having higher quality woods and higher quality workmanship. And so just do what you can with whatever quality of ukulele you have to get the best you can out of it, and one of those is letting those last notes ring, honoring the end of the song type of thing. And by the way, as we're talking about what ukulele you should buy, whatever ukulele is in your hand at this moment is probably the cheapest ukulele you're ever going to have in your hand. The next one you buy will be more expensive and better, right? Because you're going to figure out, I should have just bought the good one right off the bat. But having said that, my main ukulele sits right here on the piano, and I use this one. I have been using this for about 15 years now. The top is already caving in. I have dust all over it. This thing's pulling up from the bottom here. this was a $35 ukulele. I bought it full retail, and I have gotten. I mean, the sides are all worn out from me playing it and stuff. You do not need to have a super expensive ukulele to be a great player or to play this type of music. You don't talk yourself into thinking that your machine is the problem. You're the problem. No, I'm kidding. Well, maybe, who knows? The problem is you just need more practice time and more energy and more putting in more effort into this stuff. Not gutted out effort, but smart effort, using your good brain to create as much beautiful music out of whatever instrument you happen to have. That's what you're working on. Okay. All right, let's play the tough uke. Those of you guys who have been around the last few weeks know exactly what we're getting into. You're probably at home not listening to me at all, and you're probably already noodling on that, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. We're going to play the whole thing. How are we doing on time? We're fine. So we're going to play the whole thing through from top to bottom 2 times. The first time through, I'm going to play thumb down. Okay. And remembering if I'm not going to play a string, I'm going to rest my thumb on it. That's my first time through. The second time through, I'm going to switch and I'm going to pluck the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to get 2 completely different feeling songs out of that. One is going to be soft and smushy, and one is going to be a little more classical feeling because of the way of this particular style. So again, you guys are getting where you're playing at increasingly interesting levels. And the message I try to always get to all of you guys, and you in particular, is play it in lots of different ways. Try different things. Don't be shy about making a lot of weird noises, at least in the beginning, because that's how you're going to get the tools and be able to get better at whatever you're doing. So the first time through, we're going to play all the way down into the first repeat. I'm going to use my thumb down, but you use whatever you want. And then on the second time through, I'm going to pluck it with this and see how it sounds. Okay. If you are not ready for tough uke, perfectly fine. It's hard stuff. Play along with the melody if that's where you're at. If that's something you're working on, one note at a time, absolutely do that. And if you have no idea how to do either of those things because you're newer, just joining us, play the chords, right? Just play along. Do a duet with me. I'm gonna play something fancy, and you're gonna toss in this nice, beautiful, steady chord pattern underneath there. That's what we want to work on. All right, here we go. What did I say? Thumbs down first? Okay. And remember, in tough uke and all chord melody playing, you want to grab the chord. By the way, I know you're like, oh God, shut up, Gary. When these chord shapes, I always teach you, hey, start with the chord shape and it's going to help you out. And that's true in 80% of the cases. But the more complicated songs, the more advanced music that you play, more and more you're going to be modifying these chords as you go along. We're going to do plenty of modification just in this song, and this is not, a high level super complicated song, but we're still going to have to modify quite a bit. If you look right there at measure 5, you've got this G chord, but you're going to be modifying it with a pinky. Okay, so and then when you get to measure 6, you got an A7, but you got to modify it with your ring finger to get the 3 in there. So just know, as you're becoming a competent chord melody player, a competent tough uker, that's going to happen more and more. The weirder the songs you're playing, the more advanced you play, they start going further and further up the neck, and the chords get weirder and weirder, and you're going to have to make more and more modifications. And that's what's exciting. That's why there's really a lifelong activity. You're going to spend every single song is going to present you with new and interesting challenges to this base concept of hold the chords and pluck the melodies. Okay, and I've been doing it a long time now, and I still am surprised every single time when I do a new song where the problem ends up being, or where the cool stuff happens. So, all right, let's give this a G chord, nice and slow. Really take your time on tough uke. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. Oh, strum. 3, 2, strum, 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 strum. 2, 3, G chord with your pinky. 2 3s. A7, slide back. Hit the 2, hit the 3, D7. Measure 17. Here we go back to the top. Second ending. Okay. It sounds completely different one way or the other. Sometimes you'll find out, hey, I like it to sound completely different. I'm playing the dumb song twice. Why not sound different each time? Or sometimes you're like, no, I want to play it as beautiful the first time as I played it the second time. I would like to go back and replay the whole thing because I played it kind of iffy, right? Okay. But hopefully that's making some sense to you on some level as to what you're ready for complete playing and what's the next step that you could be taking to get yourself a little stronger as a player. So, all right, that's Home on the Range. I like that song. I think you could spend a lot of time on that and take care and be just fine living the rest of the week out. Just lovely. All right, are we doing Fly Me to the Moon next? I think we're doing that next, right? Fly Me to the Moon. Yes, that's what we're doing. Okay. All right, Fly Me to the Moon is, like I said, we've been dealing with advanced music, I don't know if it's advanced, hard music all week. And we want to be thinking in terms of, all right, am I ready for this? How do I break it down? What's going to work for me? What's not going to work for me? And let's see, got a few people who's logging in to say hi. I want to say hi back. Laurel downloaded all the MP3s today. That's the message that you should be getting. Download those MP3s and listen to them. That's a message you should play Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. All right, we could do that. Let's see. Hello, hi there, and awesome. We do have the Eddie Van Halen finish when we're strumming chords, right? That's actually kind of fun. All right, let's go into thinking about how I would attack a piece of music like this. So I'm looking through the chords going, those are not your standard issue chords. So already I know I'm going to be working a tiny bit harder than I might usually. The second thing you should know is that not last semester, but maybe the semester before, my new members group that that joined the Rocky Mountain Ukulele Orchestra, we played this as a large group piece. And so some of them were playing the melody line, some of them were playing just chords, and we had a great time. We ended up getting a huge not standing ovation, but a big ovation for all the new members who'd come in to the orchestra. And so if you're in a small group somewhere, or if you're in a strum along group, and pull a few people aside and say, hey, I want to do this song as a duet with you, or half of us play chords and the other half play melody. It sounds really good. It's a really, really beautiful song. Now it's pretty close to the Frank Sinatra version. It is not exact, but it's pretty close. And so those of you who know that version will be comfy playing most of this. And as always, when you take a full-sized orchestra and you take Frank Sinatra and smash him down onto this much music, you make compromises. Okay, I do have, and I'm really debating about possibly giving you guys just a week of fully arranged Beatles music, and your first thought is, yes, I would like to have that. Your second thought should be, wait a minute. When I was growing up, I listened to the Beatles albums 4,000 times. I am only going to accept that version of it. And that's where playing super pop tunes, from modern contemporary artists can be a bit of a challenge, because you have this thought in your head of what that's supposed to sound like. And it sounds different on this, so it must be wrong, And so so I'm going to mull that over a bit more before we do a week of Beatles, because I know it will freak a few of you out. I love the Beatles, by the way. They're really, really fine musicians and really fun to study, and it fits onto this surprisingly well in many cases, and because they really understood how to write melody, and that's what you're looking for as a musician on a ukulele. If you're thinking, I want to do this song, or I want to do this song, or I want to do this song, go grab the sheet music and pluck through the melody and make sure that there is a melody. That's the problem with so much modern music. They just don't put any melody in it, and it just doesn't work as well on a ukulele. Let's see, who else is logging in here? Oh, hey, Alan, how are you? Jackie, I see you penciled in on. Nice. Yes. We let's see. When you are grabbing music, by the way, and you find something you don't like on mine, just fix it. Right? And absolutely send me a note and say, Gary, I think you did this wrong. And sometimes I did it wrong. Sometimes you're just hearing it differently in your head. And so I love a week of the Beatles. I'll have to, in the Beatles, especially George. If we do a week of Beatles, I'll make you guys sign some sort of form that you will accept the fact that changes have to be made to fit it onto a ukulele. All right, let's go through Fly Me to the Moon. We're going to just talk chords very quickly. A minor seventh, greatest chord in the world, right? Fly me to the, and then you've got your D minor. Remember, D minor is a F chord, add your ring, and then add your pinky. Now that's a D minor 7. Moon and let me, and G7, you guys are comfy with it, measure 3. And measure 4, you've got a C major 7th. I usually use my middle finger. And then it goes to a C7. And that C7 creates the tension to get us back to a new idea here. And that's the F chord. Let me see what, okay. And then spring is like right there, D minor with your pinky. And then E7 and measure 7. We've been doing that one since you guys first showed up around here. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger. Okay, and measure 8. You got your A minor 7th again, followed by an A7. And you can feel how those chords are just moving together and sort of smooshy and whooshy and beautiful. They're going to make this song sound really, really sweet. Notice measure 12. You have what looks like a D7. This is a D7, but that's an E minor 7th, and all you do is drop those 2 down here. Okay, all E minor 7th is a G chord with an E sitting in there. Okay, it's a cool sounding chord on ukulele. What else do we got going on? I got some weird stuff at the end of the song, so let's talk about, measure, no, we already talked about that one. And measure 31, you have a C6. And you started the song with an A minor 7. And that's something you have to get used to in the beginning of playing ukulele, is sometimes the chords that look exactly the same have different names, and it's really just what they're being used for in that moment within the song. There is really, honestly, music theory reasons why one is a C6 and one is an A minor 7th, but as a ukulele player, all you care about is you're just playing it open. Okay, don't lose your mind over what sound is named like. Okay, next thing we should talk about, measure 33, 34, and 35. I give you 2 sets of chords. The lower set of chords is if you're singing this, and you're going to use those easier chords. How does it go? In other words, please be true. Okay, you're going to use that chord if you're singing it. Okay, when you're singing, you don't need to work that hard on the chords. Okay, your voice is doing all the work. Okay, and then you will go to the irregular A7, and then a regular D minor 7. Okay, so you've already met all of those chords. That's what the lower set of chords is for. The upper set of chords is those of us who are instrumentalists, get used to it. Your chords are going to be harder than you want them to be. So your E minor 7th is going to be a big, bold, all 7s. Okay, beautiful. And then you're going to go to the hard E A7, which is index finger on 5, middle finger on 6, ring and pinky on the 7s. Okay. And then instead of a regular D minor, you've got the D minor that's a bar on 5 with your ring finger up there. Okay. And that's a beautiful D minor. It's one of my favorites. Okay. So what you want to be thinking about is that when you get to that ending, you're going to be working pretty hard as an instrumentalist. If you're a singer, you're going to be fine. Please be true, chunk, 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 in, chunk, chunk, chunk. So it's a little easier if you're singing, but most of you are here because you don't like the way you sing. And if I'm the best example, you know that you don't have to sing here, right? So please know that that's why I'll arrange the sheet music the way I do. It's meant for singers on that top line. I'll give you the straight line melody and the easier chords, and then everything else on the page is designed for instrumentalists to be working on what they're doing. Now, we're not going to sing through it because you know what will happen when my voice opens up. So, but do take time, listen to the MP3, strum along to it, get all of those chords under your belt. I would say of all of the chords in here, the only one that's going to come up less is that A7 in measure 34. Every single other one of these chords is going to come up in some manner, shape, or form as you become a more competent instrumentalist. And so this is another great opportunity to just get some of these chords under your belt, to get comfortable with putting them on the fretboard, fighting your hands, getting them to where they're like, oh, okay, we're going to do that now. Well, remember back before your ukulele days when we didn't do any of this? That's what your fingers are trying to convince you of. And so just be mindful that these chords are good chords. They're going to come up, and especially as you become a more advanced player. Now, let's talk about the melody. There's really almost nothing to talk about. It's all 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. So if you are playing it as a duet with somebody, they're going to play the chords. You're going to play the melody. 1s are here, 2s are here, 3s are here, and there are some 4s, and those show up with your pinky. That's going to take you through both page 1 and page 2, clear down to measure 33, when you're going to slide up to 7th position, right? But you're not going to slide up to 7th. You're going to slide up to 5, index, middle, ring on 7, okay? And then you're going to play that 7, and then, well, you might even, I don't know, you might just go to 3rd position and then use your pinky for the 7. And that maybe makes more sense. Then you got the 3 and the 5 covered. 3 and the 5. 3, 5, 7. You might think about going to 3rd position rather than 5th position, which is where we usually go to. So positional playing, of course, is very song specific. And so in that case, I guess probably going ahead and grabbing the 7 with your pinky, grabbing the 3 with your index, and grabbing the 5 with your ring finger. That's going to make some sense in that last little bit if you're playing melody. Okay. The biggest thing that you'll do that will impede your progress is using your ring finger to play 4s, okay? And you don't want to do that. I did that forever, and it got in my way. So when you see 4s, you say pinky, and well, we know you don't like doing any of this work. Use your pinky on 4s. Okay, do it. Just start tucking your pinky into doing those, and not only will it help you out with ukulele a lot, but there will come a point when you're like, gosh, I really get this stuff. I'm going to dig that guitar out from underneath the bed that's been under there for 20 years, and believe me, you're going to use your 4 on that 4th string all the time. So this is a great way to just start tucking your pinky finger into doing a little bit of work. Okay. Now we're going to walk through the whole tough uke line, and we'll do the whole entire thing, note by notes. Make sure that we're Everything makes sense here, and then we'll go through and we'll play the whole song. Okay, we're doing great on time. Right? Start with your C chord. Fly. And it's an A minor seventh that we're actually playing, but the melody note happens to be a C, the C note, and so it looks like a C chord that we're actually playing. Fly, and then you do the 2, mi, opens, 2, go grab the 3, the, and then go put a full D minor on, moon, add your pinky to get the 3, and D minor again, let, other pinky, the pinky on the other string, mi, go to G7 at major 3, play, take your your ring finger off, and put it back on over on the 3, then take it off entirely, you're going to open, stars, this is a fun chord right here, okay, this sounds cool there, put your F chord on, let, ring finger for the 3, mi, grab the F chord again, C, lose your index finger, what, you're going to put on your D minor 7th here. Okay, go ahead and put it on. You're going to adjust it here in just a second, but 2 2s, spring, and now lose the index finger, is, put it back down, like, on, open note there, and then you have this kind of ugly little sounding E7 shape, but you're going to put a pinky up on 4, index finger on 1, put it back, and Mars. Now, guys, measure 7. I have actually been playing it with the bar, so I don't have to move my 1. It's a little bit harder, but I've been playing it like this, putting a bar on 1, middle finger and pinky finger there. It just seems like that makes a little bit more sense to get it that way. I don't have to move my 1, but you can do that around, whichever works better for you. That's what I've been doing. Okay, then the A7, hit the 1 again, put your D minor 7 on again, 1 and 2, go to your G7, and you just add your pinky and taking it back off, and then measure 11. Got a nice A minor, regular one here. I'm trying to get all the where you can see me a little better. And then grab that E minor 7. It's so beautiful on ukulele. And then A7. Hit the 1. 2 0. 1. Feels like an F chord, but you finally get your middle finger in there, or ring finger in there. Some pretty notes in here. G7 with no ring finger. Now add your ring at the 3. And then it looks like a G7 to me, so I'm going to do it again. And then lose your index finger. That's partial E minor chord is what's going on there. Open, 3. And now we have this nice little turnaround to get us into the next idea. So a D minor 7. And then an E7. Okay, so we're just setting us up with this beautiful 7th to resolve it in the next measure. Page 2, got a D minor on the top. Hit the pinky finger to get the 3. And then a D minor again. Pinky finger to get the other 3. Go to a G7 at measure 19. Lose your ring finger. Put it down. Lose it again. Hit the 1. And then it opens. It's beautiful C7. Measure an F at measure 21. Do a 3 with your ring finger. Play a regular F with the rest stroke, open up the 1, grab those 2 2s, hit the open, nice D minor here, open, there's that crazy E7 with your pinky up on 4, I lost my spot, there I am, lose the pinky, open, 2 zeros, nice A7, hit a 1, 2 2, the D7, a couple pretty notes and a nice transitional chord here, and then you hit the 3 2, And before we go on, double check that you have marked at measure 27. That's where you're entering into the first repeat. So you should have a yellow highlighter or something and we'll put it right up and down on that measured line right there at 27, because that's a long way from the repeat. So if you go into measure 27, you are already saying, I am going to play this song again. If you're sick of playing Fly Me to the Moon, then you're going to jump down to the second ending, which is clear down on 33. So just make sure you've made some sort of a mark at 27. Hey, this is where the first ending starts, and then at 33, that's where the second ending is going to happen. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into 27, play the 003. Another E minor 7, beautiful, and 10100. And there's just a couple pretty notes. Pinky on 4, 2 twos, D minor, 1, 2, and then a G7. I love, and then 2 zeros. You open, open, open. Here's this D minor 7, strum, and then that E7 again, strum. That takes us back to the top of the song, okay? If you had not gone into the first repeat, if you didn't go in there, then you're going to go to the second repeat. This is where things are a little bit more challenging. So we're going to go to the second repeat, measure 33. Please be true. So his voice goes way up high, and so we got to make our ukulele go way up high. Again, if you are just strumming and singing, you can use the easier chords, but if you are playing this instrumentally, you have to use the harder chords, okay? Because we want to go, Frank takes his voice way up there, we're going to take the ukulele way up there, and that's on 7, okay? So bar on 7 there, okay? Give it a nice big strum, and the note that matters is that one right there. That's the note that's going to change your life for the better. You're actually going to become a better person when you hit that note. And so what you want to do is grab that bar right there, okay, and hit it there, and it's just going to be beautiful. Then you got some 7s just to fill in space, and then the hard A7. This is probably the hardest motion in the song. Is you're going to be slowing down. Your audience knows what you're wrapping it up right now. So once you hit this, you can go ahead and slow down quickly. Index finger on 5, middle finger on 6. Looks like an F chord, right? And then you're just going to add in your ring and your pinky on the 7s. Let that ring out for a minute. I probably should have put a fermata over that. And then you're going to go grab that 8. Just take your pinky up 1 string. The tougher D minor is index finger on 5, ring finger on 7. Hit the 5, and then hit the same chord again, just 3 strings though. 5, 5, strum, and then you can lift everybody up. 2, 5, and then a nice C chord. G7, but modified to have the ring on 3. And then this beautiful C major 7 to finish up. Okay, so it's a lot of work. It's a tough song, but it's going to absolutely be worth it. I'd like to play it through one time. Okay, so we're going to play from the top to measure 27 and then skip down to 34. And let's see how we do. Okay. All right. It will take some work, but it'll be worth it. Lurking from the kitchen today, Joyce. Here's the thing. If you haven't figured this out, everything I'm going to give you is going to take a lot of work. A couple of them are going to be worth doing, right? Everything I give you is going to be a lot of work. But you got a lot of good choices this week, last week, some really nice music for you to decide what kind of a ukulele person do I want to be? Do I want to be here's what you probably don't want to be. You know how you are right now. You have that binder and it's got you printed out the internet of every song that you've ever heard of, and you don't really get good at any of that stuff. I do believe in this, and I believe in it with all of my heart. It's not necessarily what I do with my students, but I do believe in it. Pick one song and get really good at it, or maybe pick 2. right? But you don't need to play everything that you ever heard of. You need to play one song, just killer, right? This might be the song. Um, all of the techniques that we work on and when we go from song to song to song are really what's going to help you long term get this small number of songs up to this high level. But just be mindful. We as ukulele players, we're ridiculous about just this. I got to have more and more and more, and books and stacks of sheet music everywhere. And don't come to my house because I'm that guy. But we want to do less of that. Let's do a little less of that, and let's do a little bit more focusing on I love this song. Frank Sinatra. I wanted to kiss Frank Sinatra on the lips. Well, then this might be your song, right? And really dig into the details of it. Um, when do you play 28? Oh, major 28, Alan. If we play to 27, and then we decide we're not going to do the repeat, we have to jump to 33. But if we are going to do the repeat, you just play right into 27, 28, and so on. So I hope that answered your question. I'm not sure I understand the question. So let me double check questions here, thoughts. Got some rewriting of some of this, some talk about Beatles. Uh, Beatles. All you have to do is say Beatles, and you get excitement. Paperwork stuff. Number one, jollyrogerukulele.com. It's going to be a thing. I'm going to keep that thing going for a while. I really like what's happening there. I like the fact that it kind of pushes me to clean up my sheet music. So definitely have that on your stop by once in a while sheet. I did we were putting all of the things on the first page, and I decided that was getting to look a little scary. So I took the list of previous lessons and I moved them onto their own page. So if you go down to the bottom of the first page and click previous lessons, like if you miss something or you need to come in and listen to the recording of it or whatever, that's where it'll all be. So it's still there. It's just you got to click on it at the bottom of page 1 to get to the full list. And I'll just keep copying and pasting the current lesson onto the past lesson list, and that way it'll always be there. Second thing is obviously when we're done, if you want to say anything in chat, there's a little delay, so maybe I talk to you, maybe I don't. Subscribe. I found out if I get 1,000 subscribers, they'll start paying me. So that's my new thing. I'm going to try to get 1,000 subscribers. I don't know how I'm going to do that. And thumbs up, thumbs down if you found this helpful. Do not be shy about sending me an email. Sometimes it takes me a while to get to them, and sometimes you're just sending me a nice email and then I don't necessarily respond to you. But I do love hearing from you. I do love if you find one of these songs and you rewrite some part of it. Yeah, send me a note and let me know what you did. I'll try it out. I'm absolutely not proud about I've arranged a song, it can never ever change, it's perfect the way it is. I don't think like that at all. Every song needs to be rearranged, and so don't be shy about letting me know if you find mistakes or find things you think could be written better. Sometimes I listen to you, most time I don't, but what the heck, let's have a conversation. And I think that's it. So tomorrow we'd have one more tune. What did I say we're doing tomorrow? Girl from Ipanema and key of G arpeggio. Both, if you are an advanced player, that key of G arpeggio is going to be good for you. And so come into the early session tomorrow, play both of those with me. And I am aware that the Girl from Ipanema's lyrics are beyond ridiculous and absolutely pathetic on some level, but the melody is just so good that we just have. So those of you who are mindful of this stuff, I want you to rewrite. I want you to come up with better words for it, because it is a dumb song, but it is really a tremendous melody. And so we're going to do that one, and we'll pretend we're in Rio, and we're we're letting our standards slip just a little bit as we're playing it. I've spoiled you from real music. I know, right? All right, here we go. Let's play top to just one time through, Fly Me to the Moon. Those of you guys that were with me in the beginner group, you guys know you already have this thing down. So patience. Also, always play slow. That's one of the other takeaways. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. second ending. Okay, long way from perfect, but pretty nice, right? It's a pretty nice tune. If you put some energy and time into that, you'd have something that you could be real proud of. If I were thinking, I don't have a song memorized, I might pick that one, right? That's beautiful. Everybody knows that tune. Not everybody. Everybody of my age and older knows that tune. And I think the chords work really well. And there are a couple of, that E7 with the 4 in the melody is just such a bummer. But other than that, I mean, I think it's a pretty decent piece of music for you to work on. So, by the way, forgot to mention on Friday, we're going to play all 10 songs from the week. So by Friday, not Friday, yeah, Friday afternoon, you got 10 songs. We're going to play them top to bottom. I already have, they're even in show order on the website. So if you've missed any of the lessons this week, go grab those sheet musics and let's play on Friday. We're just going to play. Gary will shut his mouth and we'll just play. We'll see if we can get all 10 in an hour. So should be fun. Hope you guys are having a good time staying home. I reached a wall today. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how much longer I can handle this. But luckily, that's all we have to handle. Lots of people in the world are going through way worse. So let's stay inside, enjoy playing ukulele, just have hopefully get better at it, right? Maybe we're kind of pushing you a little bit here. Let me see what other notes I've got over here. Kat, have a wonderful day. Thank you for that. Where does find sheet music you reference? Is it other than what? Oh, yeah. So sheet music question is always complicated. You can't. I go by real piano sheet music usually, and then turn it into ukulele music. So that's how I do it. I don't know what else to tell you on that. Maybe we can have a more intimate discussion or a more in-depth discussion about how to get better sheet music. That's a complicated thing. Susan, I'll see you tomorrow. Mike Burke, have a wonderful day. Susan, thanks for them. Oh, I love those hearts. Those are nice. Thank you. Kathy, have a wonderful day. Renee, glad you're having fun. This is fun. I love it. So Bruce, take care of Arizona for us, will you? Cindy was sneaking in here. She's a baritone player, you guys. Don't let her hang out. Lindy and Lorraine, have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. Yay! You're having a good sound in ukulele, Bonnie. That's all we're after, right? All right. Yep. Thanks, Ahern. Let's see. Linda, have a wonderful day. Chris, Joyce, Patty, Louise, good to see all you guys. Have a wonderful day. Go make dinner and then go play some music and all of that good stuff. Alan is pro baritone as well. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to end the stream, and I will see most of you tomorrow. If you want to learn to play guitar, denverguitarorchestra.com. That's what we're going to do next. Have a great night, you guys.